Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mathematical Lens by Namita. In this video, we are going to continue with chapter number 7, Fractions of Grade 6 Mathematics of the new NCERT textbook Ganit Prakash. We are going to learn about mixed fractions in this video. In the previous video, we learned how to represent fractions on a number line. We saw both the proper fractions as well as the improper fractions. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn more about mixed fractions. So what are mixed fractions? Fractions greater than 1. You mark some fractions. If you remember the previous number line, I will show you the number line. We had marked some fractions with the blue and the black line, right? So if you see the one with the blue line, they are all less than 1. And one with the black line, see all this. They are all more than 1. They are after this one, right? You can see this is 1. So they are all more than 1. And the blue one is all less than 1. So we write down all the fractions which we marked in the earlier and classify them into 2 groups. So if we write all of them, then the ones which are whose length is less than 1 unit, we'll write in this box. So that was in the first number line which I just showed you, there was half. Then in the second number line, there was 1 upon 5, 2 upon 5, 3 upon 5, 4 upon 5, right? And the length more than 1 unit. They were 6 upon 5, 7 upon 5, 8 upon 5, 9 upon 5. Right? This is what we saw in the number line which we just learned in the previous class. Now, if you notice the fractions, if you notice them, just observe. Here if you see, you remember that the number above the line, that is known as the numerator, and the number below the line is known as the denominator. So if we see all these fractions which are less than 1, the numerator is less than the denominator. These are all numerators. These are all numerator. They are less than the denominator, which is 5. Right? And if we observe this case where they are more than 1, all the numerators, they are greater than the denominators. 6, 7, 8, they are all more than 5. These are again numerators. They are greater than 5. 5 is the denominator. Right? So that is the basic difference between both the types of fractions. So in all the fractions that are less than 1 unit, the numerator is smaller than the denominator, while the fractions that are more than 1 unit, the numerator is larger than the denominator, which I just explained to you now, right? So if we know that 3 upon 2, 5 upon 2, 7 upon 2, they are all greater than 1. But can we see how many whole units they contain? Right? We just say 3 upon 2, 5 upon 2. But how many whole are there? If I tell you that you have 3 upon 2, you eat 3 upon 2 pizza, then you will not understand how many pizzas you need to eat, because you don't know how many wholes and how many halves are there. So if what is actually 3 upon 2? 3 upon 2 is 3 times half. 3 times half. Half plus half plus half. Now we already learned this, that half plus half becomes 1. So this is converted into 1 and half remains. So what is 3 upon 2 is actually 1 plus half. That is 1 and half. You can write it without the plus sign. Similarly, the next is 5 upon 2. Now 5 upon 2 means 5 times half. 5 times half. Right? So half plus half plus half plus half plus half. So here if we pair half and half, you get 1. The another pair half and half, you get another 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2 and remaining half. So you can write this as 2.5. So if I tell you that you take 2.5 of the pizza from whatever the pizza given, then you will understand rather than me saying 5 and 5 upon 2 or 5 times half. 5 times half is still easy to understand, but 5 upon 2, practically it would be difficult for anyone to understand. Right? So 2 plus half can be written as 2 and half. Right? Similarly, we also know that 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 is 3 upon 3. That is equal to 1. Like suppose any particular thing is divided into 3 equal parts. Right? So 3, each one will be, each portion is 1/3. This is 1/3, this is also 1/3, 3, this is also 1/3. Each is 1/3. So 3 1/3s, or if I write spelling, 3 1/3s make a whole. So then it's easy. So 3 upon 3, that is 1. If I add one more, then it becomes 4 1/3, 4 times 1/3. Right? So I will get 1 unit more than 4 times 1/3. You can write this as 4 upon 3 can be written as 4 times 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3, 4 times 1 upon 3. And as I told you that 3 times 1 upon 3 gives you 1. So this becomes 1 whole and 1/3. Right? So then it's easy for anyone to understand. So instead of 4 upon 3, we know that 4 upon 3 is greater than 1 because just now we learned that if the numerator is greater, then it is more than 1. Okay, but how much? So 4 upon 3 means 4 times 1 upon 3. So 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3, 4 times. And then the group of 1 upon 3, 3 times, that becomes 1 whole and 1/3 is remains. So actually it is 1 whole 1 upon 3. The figure it out exercise, which is given on page number 162. Let us try to solve that. Now, like 7 upon 2. So I told you how to remember 7 upon 2. It is 7 times 1 upon 2. Right? So if we write it as 1 upon 2 plus 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 1 upon 2. We have written it 6 times. So 1 more time. So 7 times 1 upon 2. And now we know that 2 times 1 upon 2 make 1 whole. So how many holes are there? This is 1. Half plus half makes 1 whole. Half plus half makes 1 whole. So how many are there? 3 holes. So you can write this as 3 plus half. So 3 plus half or 3 and half. So 7 upon 2 means 3 and half. Right? Now, till now, what we have learned till the way we were representing mixed fraction or this improper fraction into mixed fraction, what we were doing earlier, the conventional method till now which we have learned is we divide 7 by 2. Right? 7 upon 2, so we divide 7 by 2. If we divide 7 by 2, 2 3s are 6. 1 is the remainder. So you get 3 whole and the remainder goes as numerator and the divisor as the denominator. So you get 3 and half. So you can get the answer directly 3 and half like this by division. But you will not understand it in real life situation if you don't understand this. What is 7 upon 2? It is 7 times half and half plus half makes 1. So this gives you a better clarity about the concept and you will understand it better in real life situation. This method you can use when the numbers are bigger, right? So you can just write the answer. This is just for answering. You can write the answer directly. But for understanding the concept, you need to do it this way, right? Now if we look at question number 2, how many whole units are there in 4 upon 3 and 7 upon 3? Right. So this 4 upon 3 means 4 times, both the denominator are same. So what I'll do, I'll write 7 times 1 upon 3 and we can deduce both. So 1 upon 3 plus 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 1 upon 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times we have written. Now we will write both the answers from this. Let me change the color. Now you know the previous part I just showed you that 3 times 1 upon 3 gives you 1 whole. Right? So 4 times 1 upon 3, for this we will have 1 whole plus 1 upon 3. This much is left. I am talking about the first part, 4 upon 3. So 4 upon 3 is equal to 1 plus 1 upon 3. Okay. Now they have also asked 7 upon 3. So for 7 upon 3, we take another set of 1 upon 3. So 3 times 1 upon 3 makes 1 whole. This is 1 whole. This is also 1 whole. So you get 2 whole. So 7 upon 3 becomes 2 whole plus 1 upon 3. This one is left. Right? So it is 2 whole 1 upon 3. Now if I tell you to do it by division method, what you can do, 4 divided by 3. So you divide 4, 3 ones are 3 and 4 minus 3 is 1. So you're getting 1 as whole. The answer which you get, the quotient which you get is your whole part. So 1 whole 1 upon 3. And if I divide 7 upon 3, so 3 twos are 6, 1 whole. So here you are getting the quotient as 2. So 2 whole and 1 upon 3 is left. So in both the ways you get the same answer. But I want you to understand it this way. What does it mean in the real life scenario? So then it would be easier for you to understand. Writing fractions greater than 1 as mixed numbers. Right? Why mixed number? I'll explain you the concept, then we'll go ahead. One is we learned what are fractions. So like 2 upon 5 is a fraction. Now if the numerator is less than the denominator, it is known as a proper fraction. Right? The numerator is less. Suppose I write 5 upon 3. Here the numerator is greater than the denominator. It is known as improper fraction. We just understood this, how to write them with the whole units. Right? Now what is mixed form is, if I write it 1 whole plus 1 half. 1 whole plus half. So this is known as a mixed fraction. Why mixed? Because it has a whole part as well as a fractional part. So that's why it is known as mixed form. So it has a whole part as well as a fractional part. So proper fractions are the fractions where the numerator is less than the denominator. Improper fractions are the fractions where the numerator is greater than the denominator. And these improper fractions actually very difficult to imagine. When if I tell you to represent that, shade some portion and show 5 upon 3 on a rectangular piece of paper, it is very difficult. So these improper fractions then are converted into mixed, then it is easy for you to understand. So that is what we are going to learn in this part. So let us see how to do that. So we saw that 3 upon 2, we just saw this 3 upon 2 is written as 1 plus half, right? We can also write other fractions in a similar way. This also we saw the same example in the figure it out. 4 upon 3 means 4 times 1 upon 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this 3 times 1 upon 3 becomes 1 whole. So this will become 1 plus 1 upon 3, right? Now we will try to answer the questions which are given over here. Now figure it out. So let us solve the first question 1. Figure out the number of whole units in each of the following fractions. So 8 upon 3 is given. 8 upon 3 means 8 times 1 upon 3. So if I write 8 times 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3 plus 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 1 upon 3. So I've written 8 times 1 upon 3, and if you remember, we know that 3 times 1 upon 3 makes 1 whole. So this is 1 whole. Another 3 times 1 upon 3 makes 1 whole. Right? So what you are getting now is 2 wholes. And what is left? 2 times 1 upon 3. So the answer will be 2 whole, 1 plus 1, 2 whole, and this 2 times 1 upon 3. That is 2 upon 3. Right? 2 times 1 upon 3, that is 2 upon 3, or it can be written as 2 whole 2 upon 3 without the plus sign. Right? So 8 times 1 upon 3 gives you this answer. Question number 1b, 11 upon 5. 11 upon 5 means 11 times 1 upon 5. So 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5. 5 times 1 upon 5 will make 1 whole. This you need to remember. Whatever is the denominator, and if it's a unit fraction, that many times make 1 whole. So 5 times 1 upon 5 will make 1 whole. Now we take another 5, 1 upon 5 plus 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 1 upon 5. So now this is again 1 whole. 5 times 1 upon 5 gives you 1 whole. So this is 1 whole and this is 1 whole. So 1 plus 1, 2 wholes. 2 wholes means, and what is left is 1 upon 5. So 2 whole 1 upon 5 is the answer. Now for such numbers like 11 upon 5, 11 times 1 upon 5 is time consuming, right? This I told you for understanding the concept. So if you want to do it directly, you will divide 11 by 5, right? So 5 twos are 10 and you get the remainder as 1. This is your quotient. So the answer is 11 upon 5 can be written as 2 whole 1 upon 5, where 2 is the quotient, 1 is the remainder, and 5 is the divisor. Okay, here you will have to remember it to arrange it properly. Otherwise, if you write wrong numbers at wrong places, the answer will again be wrong, which is a very common mistake children do. So what you can do is, you can remember here this is Q, QRD. You remember Q, then R, and this is D. Quotient, remainder and divisor, QRD. That's the technique to remember the sequence, right? So I've shown you both the ways. Now we'll do question number C, that is 9 upon 4. So C is 9 upon 4 means, what is the meaning? 9 times 1 upon 4. So 1 upon 4 plus 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 1 upon 4. Now we should remember that 4 times 1 upon 4 makes 1 whole. Another 4 times 1 upon 4 makes 1 whole. So this is 8, we'll add one more 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 whole 1 upon 4 is left. So 2 whole 1 upon 4. That's your answer. And even if you divide, you'll get the same answer. 9 divided by 4. So 4 twos are 8 and 1 is the remainder. Right? So if you do that way, then also your answer will be correct. So 2 whole you can write it this way again, 9 upon 4 is equal to 2 whole 1 upon 4. You get the same answer in both the ways, and I remember the method QRD. So question number 2 says, can all the fractions greater than 1 be written as such mixed fraction? Yes. Why? So first we write the answer. Yes, all the mixed fractions. I showed you 3 examples we saw, and earlier also we saw many examples. You can take any number. Rather, suppose I take 23 upon 4. So I told you can divide 23 divided by 4. So 4 5s are 20. And remainder is 3. So the answer will be 5 whole 3 upon 4. Right? So any number can be represented in the form of a mixed fraction. So a mixed number or a mixed fraction contains a whole part and a fractional part which is less than 1. Okay? So that is the definition of mixed fraction. Now let us go to question number 3. Write the following fractions as mixed fraction. That is 9 upon 2 is equal to 4 and half. Right? So let us do that now. Now I have taught you the technique. Now we'll do it the shortcut way which I just explained you. All these questions because it is same as question number 1. So what we do rough work here and we write the answer directly. Write this improper fraction into mixed form. So 9 divided by 2. So 2 4s are 8. So you are getting 4 as whole part. 4 as whole part, QRD. Remember Q, R, and this is D. So Q, R, D. So 9 upon 2 is 4 and half. Right? Then we go to the next question. 9 upon 5. So again we do rough work here. 9 divided by 5. So 5 ones are 5 and remainder is 4. So what do we get? The answer as 1 whole 4 upon 5. Right? Let us do question number C. This would be faster now once you understand the concept. 21 upon 19. Right? Because now it will be very time consuming if you write 21 times 1 upon 19. So that's why we are doing rough work over here. 21 divided by 19. So you get the answer faster. So 19 ones are 19. Remainder is 2. So what you are getting is 1 whole and remainder is 2. 2 upon 19. That's your answer C. Okay. Let us do question number D. D is 47 upon 9. So we divide 47 by 9. 9 5s are 45. 2 is the remainder. So the answer which you get is 5 whole, the Q, the quotient, remainder here on 9. 5 whole 2 upon 9 is the answer of D. Now question number E, 12 upon 11. So we divide 12 by 11. 11 ones are 11. Remainder is 1. So you get 1 whole 1 upon 11 as the answer. Correct? Now they are all similar sums, so it would be easier. You can do it faster. Now, last question F. F is 19 upon 6. This is not minus sign. 19 upon 6. So when we divide 19 by 6, 6 3s are 18. Okay? You divide as you divide. So 3 whole 1 upon 6 is the answer. Right? So I hope you have understood this figure it out exercise. Can we write a mixed number or a mixed fraction as a regular fraction? Now till now what we did, we were writing all the regular fraction as mixed fraction. Now can we do it other way around? Let us see. So yes, I figured out a way to write a mixed number as a regular fraction. These two girls are talking to each other. right? So Jaya says, when I have 3 plus 3 upon 4, what is 3? 3 is 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? 3 wholes plus 3 upon 4. Now what is 1? If the denominator is 4, then 1 is 4 times 1 upon 4. 4 times 1 upon 4 is 1, right? If I show you with the help of a picture, I divided this chapati into 4 parts. So each is 1 upon 4. Ignore, it should be equal, the part should be equal. So 1 upon 4 is how many times? 4 times. So 4 times 1 upon 4 make 1 whole. So what is done? Instead of this 1, 4 times 1 upon 4. The second one, again 4 times 1 upon 4 is written. For the third one, again 4 times 4 is written. Right? So this becomes 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole. And 3 times 1 upon 4 is written as 3 times. So how many times now we have it? 1 upon 4, this is 4 times, plus 4, plus 4. So 12 plus 3. So 15 times 1 upon 4 we are getting. Right? So this is how we have written it the other way around. 4 times 1 upon 4, this one. This is 4 times 1 upon 4, this is also 4 times 1. And this is 3 times 1 upon 4. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12 plus 3 is 15 upon 4. So this is how we can get convert a mixed number as a regular fraction or as an improper fraction. Right? So now we will do the exercise, figure it out exercise, which is based on the same concept. Write the following mixed numbers as fractions. And is 3 whole 1 upon 4. Now here also I'll teach you the way it is taught in this book, and then also a shortcut way to get the answer quickly. If you know both the ways, whatever way is asked in your exam, you can do it both the ways. Right, now this is 3 whole. 3 whole means 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 times 1 plus 1 upon 4. Right, now we know that 1 is equal to 4 times 1 upon 4. So what do? We replace this first one as 4 times 1 upon 4. So this is 1. Let me keep changing color so you'll understand it better. Again 1 upon 4, 1 upon 4, plus 1 upon 4, plus 1 upon 4. This is the second one. Then, because we have 3 wholes, 1, 2, 3. So for each I am writing 4 times 1 upon 4. And the last one, which is extra, so we write it here as 1 upon 4. Or let me change the color and write it. Right, so this is, now this one can be written as 4 times 1 upon 4. Again, the second one can be written as 4 times 1 upon 4. Right? The third set, this is also 4 times 1 upon 4. And this is just 1 time 1 upon 4. So how many times 1 upon 4 we are getting? This 4, I'll add it here like this. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 1. So that is equal to 13. So you're getting it as 13 times 1 upon 4. So this becomes 13 times 1 upon 4, which is equal to 13 upon 4. Right? So you can represent this 3 whole 1 upon 4 as 13 upon 4. Now this is the long method, and this is for understanding the concept. Again, I am repeating, this is also very important. We are not here to just understand the method, we are here to understand the concept behind it. So this is very important, though it is very time consuming. But if it is an objective type question, the shortcut way of doing it, I'll show you that, which you might have learnt earlier, because till now we were doing this way only. So 3 whole 1 upon 4. So what do? We multiply 3 and 4 plus 1 upon 4. So we multiply these two, the denominator and the whole part. We multiply that and add the numerator. And we write the denominator as it is. So 3 4s are 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So 13 upon 4. So we get the same answer. So you can write directly also. 3 4s are 12. 12 plus 1, 13 upon 4. But I have explained you so that you remember the trick. So remaining sums will do with this shortcut method only. Right? So let us go to question number B. B is 7 whole. This is also very important, shortcut way, right? Because every time you can't do this long way if you are solving sums, if you are adding fractions and all, right? And I want you to practice mental maths. So what we did earlier, we multiplied both these numbers. So 7 3s are 21 plus 2 upon 3. So 21 plus 2 is 23 upon 3 is the answer. C is 9 whole 4 upon 9. Right, so now we write the answer directly. 9 9s are 81. 81 plus 4 is 85 upon 9. Okay. Question number D is 3 whole 1 upon 6. So we multiply 6 3s are 18. 18 plus 1 is 19 upon 6. The next is E. 2 whole 3 upon 11. So 11 2s are 22. 22 plus 3 is 25 upon 11 is the answer. Then the last question F. F is 3 whole 9 upon 10. Right, so what do? 10 3s are 30. 30 plus 9 is 39. 39 upon 10. Right, so this is how you can do it directly with shortcut method. And we will continue with this chapter in the next video. Thank you.